by the shelves over there by all the awards.
Hey everybody, we're starting our lunch and learn, and this is Aubrey, and I'll let you say your last name.
My last name is Talarico.
Talarico from DR Horton New Construction. We're glad to have you.
Yeah, thank you guys for letting me come and kind of talk to you guys. So just a little bit about myself. I am kind of new to real estate. I started in like November, December 2019. I did resale for a year and loved it. And I had a great first year, fell in love with the industry, and I happened to be one of the lucky agents who did a ton of transactions with DR Horton last year. And so Josh, who's now the area sales manager, just finally wore me down, and I interviewed with them. I'm not looking for a change, but it just ended up being the perfect time, I think, to kind of make a change and follow the inventory, especially when there's sometimes a lack of. So I've only been with DR Horton for a couple of months, and I love it. We are growing rapidly. We're very green in this area. We've only been building in this area for, honestly, as soon as I got my real estate license is when they started building. So we will be growing a lot in the Tri-Cities. We should have like 8 to 10 more communities that we will be starting in probably the next year to 15 months. So we're really excited to be able to kind of roll that out to agents, and that way you guys can help provide some more homes for your buyers. But a little bit about DR Horton. Has anybody ever done a contract with DR Horton? No. So what I've found is that there's a lot of agents who don't even know who we are or that we really even exist or are building, and that's because our homes are going so fast. We're not on the MLS, and so all of our homes that are on MLS are pending or are under contract. And so when you're doing searches for your buyers, you're obviously not looking for any homes that are contingent. So a lot of times our communities and homes are not popping up. So it's a great problem for us and for the seller to have a line of people waiting to get into our communities. But it's a bad thing for buyers and for agents who just don't know that we're there, know that we're an option, especially for clients who have some time and they might have 6 to 9 months before they really need a place, but want to get the ball rolling now. We're a great option. But also, I know we're finding that buyers who need a home right now are still waiting 6 or 7 months to find a home. So we could be a good option for them. But DR Horton started in Texas, but we are the #1 home builder in America. We are now in 39 states. Again, we've only been in this area for about 15 months. Knoxville is our regional headquarters. We're a decentralized corporation, which means that we still get all of the wonderful benefits of being corporate, but they really allow each region to manage their own area because we know our market and our buyers better. So it's really the best of both worlds. But really, Don Horton, who founded it, he wanted it to make sure that home ownership was affordable to everybody. We know that right now new construction, especially custom homes, are not really for the everyday, buyer, and so they really wanted to provide a home that had space. It was super livable for an everyday person. So again, been in business for over 40 years. He's very hands-on. He travels to each of the markets, usually once every 18 months. So it's great to have an owner who takes such pride in his company and his people. So in this area, a little bit more about this area. So they do make 4 different collections. We're only currently building 2 collections in this area. We have an express collection, which is going to be our more value-minded buyers, and then we have a Horton E collection. So you're going to get more of the luxury finishes in that one. And so up here I have a couple of the communities, 3 of the communities that we're currently building in, but we do have villas at Cedar Rock are starting within the next probably 6 to 8 weeks, and those are going to be townhomes. And if you guys are familiar with Cedar Rock, that neighborhood on North Front Street, the Kingsport Highway, we're going to have townhomes that will be there. We have another neighborhood in Kingsport coming very soon. A big neighborhood off of Eastern Star Road will be coming this summer. Bristol, the overlook will be, hopefully at the end of this year, we'll start building in that, Bristol. So Greenville, Jonesboro, so we have a lot of communities that are going to be coming, I think, in the next 9 to 12 months. And as we get that information, obviously I like to send it out to, agents who work with DR Horton and like to bring buyers, and I always try to make sure that you guys are aware of any homes that are coming available in any neighborhoods and communities too. But these are the ones that we currently have right now. And I'll just kind of pass those, you guys can take one and
That's fine.
take one and pass it around. These are just good to keep like on you or keep in a backpack or whatever. That way if you have clients who are interested, you can kind of just pull this out and like let them look over it. It has some of the standard features. It shows the community map. And also just a few of the floor plans that we offer in each community. Obviously I didn't do all of them, but there is a few of those floor plans. So it's just kind of something to hold on to.
Do you have enough for me to put in agent mailboxes that aren't
I
here?
brought 14 or 15.
Okay.
So there should be a decent amount. Since you're so good at that, you get to do that one too. And then, do you want one of these too? Sure. I'll get the other one too.
Did you do this one?
Huh?
Karen, you're not on this one.
Oh, well, she doesn't need me since I'm not an agent.
Neither am I, but
Well, you're a licensed agent. It'd be good for you to have contact with her for the other people on
I
Tim
wanted to
Stock
keep them
Group.
separate so that way it didn't get confusing when you look at the communities, and also like the standard features will change depending on which collection it is that we built in. So I want to make sure that it's not too confusing.
Plus, you may do a referral. Or True North Referral Company.
If I missed anybody.
Does like the development part of it, or
Say that again?
the senior part of it involved?
Yes, Tim Carter does, he's the company that does the majority of our land development.
That's what I think.
Yeah, so he loves your home.
I like it.
Every time I go in there, he gets so excited, he pulls out the big plans, he's like, look what we're doing now, and this is what's gonna be here. So he's been fantastic, but, so, we have a couple of incentives for buyers. We do, if you use our preferred lender and a preferred title company, we have like kind of like an in-home lender, but they also do outside mortgage loans as well, but they really do about 95% of our lending and our contracts because of the incentive. So if you use our preferred lender and our preferred title company, we can pay up to $6,000 of your buyer's closing costs. And then we have another incentive, and that one is on the back of one of these. It's the Main Street Stars, and if your buyers fall under one of these categories, we'll take $1,000 off the purchase price. So $7,000 that can kind of stay in your buyer's pockets. I feel like it's huge, especially right now. I feel like there's a lot of, and maybe not so much anymore because of the market and how we're running of offers, but I know it got to a point where a lot of people are asking for closing costs in the contract. And that's kind of nice to know that if they use our lender, they don't have to ask for it, something that we can offer. So those are the three neighborhoods that we're currently building in. The Cliffs at Boone Lake is probably our most popular and well-known. It's the one that we started first. They're gonna have 200 homes there. And we still have about 85 left to build, but we do have 11 different floor plans that we build in that neighborhood. And then the cottages at Greenwood is our brand new subdivision and community that we just started building, and that's right in front of Willow Springs Reserve neighborhood, right on the corner of Greenwood and Willow Springs Drive. And so we just started building in there. We have about 10 homes under contract and under construction, and we still have about 40 to 50 more that we'll be putting back through there. Those are going to be smaller lots, but it is the Horton collection, so you still get all the standard features like 9-foot ceilings, granite comes standard, Revwood, which is an engineered laminate, comes standard in the first floor. It's a gas community, so you have a tankless gas water heater, gas heat, gas fireplace. You can do a gas stove, put a gas line off your back porch for your gas grill. So there's a little bit more luxury finishes that you'll get at the Cliffs and at the cottages. But the cottages are gonna have a little bit smaller lots. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Willow Springs Reserve, but there's some like patio homes and smaller things across the street. So we did a little bit smaller lots there, but you still have a pretty decent backyard. They're just kind of holding hands. The houses are pretty close to each other, but you still have a decent backyard that you can fence in, or you put a small pool and things like that. They are HOA neighborhoods, but they are per year, so between $225 and $300 a year is what the HOA is. And right now, they're just doing a good job of answering questions, and if somebody wants to put a fence in or do an addition off the back of their house, or put a pool in, they're answering those questions and approving the plans and requests for those. So not expensive to be in those communities. And then Gibson Springs is our Kingsport location, and we'll have another Kingsport location in North Kingsport that will be starting, within the next, I think, probably 8 weeks as well. And those will both be our express collection. So a little bit different standard features, and I attached those to each of the neighborhoods, so that way, you know, you can see what the difference is. But with our value-friendly collection, that's gonna be like 8-foot ceilings instead of 9. They're not a gas community. Laminate comes standard, but we usually do granite in them. We usually will upgrade it. And then you'll have a vinyl and a carpet throughout the first floor, and then carpet upstairs, which right now you can also upgrade and do the redwood. So really the biggest things that you can't do, the differences between the upgrades is the ceiling height, and then it's electric community versus gas. So ideally it can kind of be almost the same collection with the options and upgrades that you can add in. But if somebody wants to save a little bit of money, then they can leave, like, you know, the laminate out. I mean, they can leave the redwood, hardwood laminate out, and then they can also leave the granite out to save them up to $7,000. So what questions do you guys have for me about DR Horton, how the process works, the communities?
So when we work with you guys, y'all as sales reps are kind of, you're not an agent as far as, because when I first heard about it, I was like, oh, there's this agent. You guys come and we work with you with our buyers through the process.
Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit of how that
Yes,
works?
so, you know, in resale, your focus is always like buyers, right? Buyers and sellers, that's your focus, not other agents. When with DR Horton, my focus is agents. I'm building a relationship with you guys and networking with you guys. That way, if you have a buyer, you're calling me and saying, hey, you know, Sarah's looking for X, Y, and Z. Do you have an appointment at a time this week that we can come in and sit down and you can explain to her everything about DR Horton? Even if you can't be there, you're still their agent. So I represent the seller. So I'm a seller's agent and you guys would be the buyer's agent. We paid out $650 million in commissions last year. So that tells you we love to work with agents. I know a lot of custom home builders and things like that. They would prefer to cut out the buyer's agent because obviously it saves them money. But with us, we know that relationships with you guys and buyer's agents are so crucial and so important that we want you guys to know that you're taken care of on the commission side. So we actually do a really cool commission incentive. So it's 2.5% for your first contract with us, 3% for your second, and then you stay at 3.5% for the rest of the year. And then it starts over in November, and you go back to 2.5%. But I have somebody just in the 2 months I've been selling with them, she's gonna make 20 grand in closings just from 3 contracts with me in a matter of 5 or 6 weeks. Same thing with her, she didn't even know that we were really there until I started working for them. And I knew her personally before, and she was like, I need to probably start bringing some people over there. It's like a really great option. And within 4 weeks, she had 3 contracts and is already up to 20K in commissions. And she doesn't have to do anything. She brought them to me. I think 2 of them, she didn't even come for the appointment because it's really not that important because really it's all about the buyer and me giving them information. And then she, in 5 or 6 months, she'll collect a commission check. So it's working with us are probably the easiest transactions you'll do in real estate ever. We write up the contract. You just literally have to sign something. And we do all the communication between the builder and them. You can be as active or involved as you and your buyers want you to be throughout the process. And then you really just kind of show up to closing. So for me, I did resale and I had like 33 transactions last year, and I think I had 6 with DR Horton, and they were the easiest, and I made the most money off of them probably than I did all the other ones. So
If you're under contract with you guys, depending upon where they are in the building stage, how does that work as far as like inspections and things like that? Is there more of like a punch list that you keep kind of showing up and make sure it's like going well, or how does that work?
like that you guys would have to do?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, you guys can check in. So the builder and the buyer will connect. So the builder and buyer will do like pre-construction meetings, pre-drywall meetings. If the buyer wants to go walk their home to kind of see where they're at, they'll get a hold of the builder and stop in. I did very little with the 6 contracts that I had because, I mean, they know the buyers know that you don't have to be there. If they just want to go and walk through the home, they know that it's not that you have to stop and go do. I did like the orientation walks, which is towards the end when you get to go through and you have a couple of hours with the superintendent and the builder, and you walk through the home, and the buyers are able to take things up if they see any thing that they want fixed. And I would usually walk through with them, you know, just to help with that. And then I went to closing. So it was super simple, and really easy, and for me, it was pipeline too. I mean, it was money that I knew in 4 to 6 months or whatever it was, I had closings, that way I could focus on my buyers and sellers, my other ones who were doing resale. So it's always nice to have a couple of those, I feel like, in that pipeline. So that's a little bit about the incentive, how easy it is for you guys, and also how good the money is. But since I've done, this is my 3rd lunch and learn in just a couple of weeks, and after them I always have like 7 to 10 agents from each office end up calling me, and they either want to come by and do a tour of the community and the model homes themselves, just to see more of the floor plans, maybe just get a little bit more information if they feel like they need to, or just kind of figure out where we are. Or they have buyers who like immediately go like, oh, this is what this person needs, I need to know is there. So it's been really fun to see agents kind of get excited about what we have to offer, because it is inventory and it's something different than the, like the Groundhog Day of submit offer, lose the cash buyer, submit offer, lose the cash buyer, submit offer, 15 over ask, lose the cash buyer. So this is something that's all different.
Jumping into mushroom.
Oh.
Oh, I should do. We thought she wanted you.
What other questions do you guys have?
I have 2.
Yes.
One of the things that caught my attention with your Horton a couple years ago was the affordability of it. And you said that some of these aren't even in MLS. So do you mind to touch on the price ranges of these, and then like at closing, if it's not in MLS, would we be allowed to put it in MLS as a sale with you?
We update that. So a lot of
So
times,
you already do that.
that's actually a really good question, and I need to ask that because I know why you would want to put it in MLS. And I need to ask and see if that's something, because some of our homes we do put in MLS, but usually only if it's like it's been available. So right now, I mean, they're going under contract before we even prep the slab. And so we don't have anything that really goes on MLS because it's not in per MLS rules. It has to be available for people to buy if you're going to put it on MLS. And right now, that's just not the case. So I need to figure out how to do that. Like if you can put it on and immediately change the status. So let me get back
I've
to you.
done
That's a
that
great
with
question.
sell by owner.
Yeah.
When it closed,
Yeah.
I just put it on and off.
Yes, and I've done that. I did that too last year with a couple of mine, and just asked them if I could put it on and then immediately change it to closed or whatever. But I'm not sure with this how that changes. Our marketing rules are so different. Like I can even share like a listing. If we have a home that's available, I have to get it approved through marketing with what they can put, what I can put on there. It's just a little bit different with DR Horton, with the company itself. We have to follow a little bit more stricter rules. So I want to make sure before you do that. But I will ask. That's a good question. And then what was your other?
Just the price range. That's it. I didn't notice. Maybe it's on yours.
And so I didn't do the price sheet. So we do incremental price increases throughout our neighborhood. So as we build, we do like small price increases, and that's why everybody has equity in their home. So I currently have a DR Horton home, and I probably have 40. I actually just got my assessment from the tax appraisal people, and just the tax appraisal is already $33,000 over what I purchased it for. So they do these little, little incremental price increases. So a lot of times I won't do the price sheets because you'll see it, and then 5 months later you'll give it to a client, and it's increased, by $8,000 to $10,000 from there. So bringing your buyers in now so we can get them in the sooner, the earlier stages in some of these communities obviously is, beneficial, but either way, everybody will have equity in their home when they move in. But they're around, I think the Cliffs right now, our smallest one level is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, over 600 square feet, and that's like after your like lot premium, which is again between like $4,000 and $10,000, depending on where you are in the neighborhood. If like you're looking over the cliff, or if you're corner lot, the premium might be a little bit more. But after upgrades, lot premium in the home, they're about $240. It starts at $240, and then our largest one, which is just under 4,000 square feet, is going for about $340, and that's like all in. But again, we do those little price increases, so it could be, $345 in the next 4 months or 5
finishes of like a stone finish,
Yeah,
vinyl, brick?
we'll have different elevations and like, structural components to the exterior that do affect the starting price, the base price. So we'll have some that'll have like a brick front, or a stone front, or some of them will be all vinyl. We'll have some that have brick and cedar shake, different things like that that will affect. And the roof lines change. That way if you have two of the same floor plans, close to each other, they could look like two completely different homes because of the exterior. So that way it kind of keeps the neighborhood, looking different and not as, I guess, like cookie cutter, with all the same colors, the same exteriors, same roof lines. But that's the cliffs, and then the cottages, we do smaller lots. We actually do smaller floor plans. We only have about 5 floor plans over there, and those start right now about $230 to about $275. But the biggest home over there is going to be a little over 2,300 square feet.
And you said that they are HOA. Could you send me like the restrictions?
And well, the neighborhoods are all going to be a little bit different, but I can send you an email with each of the restrictions. So most of them are very much the same, but there might be a little bit of differences. But I'll at least send you one that's like 40 pages. That way you have a general idea of what the generic restrictions are. Any other questions?
Do you guys do like 1-year warranty or?
Yep, so we have a 10-year limited structural, a 2-year mechanical, and a 1-year drywall. And obviously all the appliances have warranties, individual warranties as well. So when you buy new construction, knowing that your buyers have that warranty, I feel like it's really important. I know right now a lot of people are writing in, choice warranties and things like that with homes, especially with older homes, but after that 1 year is out, what do you have? We definitely have the warranties, and we also do a 30-day walk and a 1-year walk after close. So that way, after 30 days, if there's a nail pop or something that you see that wants to be fixed, maybe a caulk kind of cracked, you can do a 30-day warranty walkthrough and have those things addressed. And the same thing, you have a 1-year walk as well. So it's not like you just buy and then you don't hear from the builder or the seller anymore. They stay very involved throughout that first year.
Do you know, on the townhomes that you all are getting ready to start, do you have an estimated completion date, and do you have any idea what the price range is gonna be on those?
I do not.
Okay.
I ask every day. I'm probably the most annoying consultant, because for me, especially if we're gonna start in a few weeks, I want to know. And I did get a glimpse of like the floor plans, and so I think we'll have at least I know in a couple of the buildings is going to be a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, so basically 2 masters upstairs, and then we'll have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. With bedrooms upstairs, the floor plans are going to be open, so open entertaining to the kitchen, like an island with the living room, dining room. Most of them will have, I think, garages as well. If I had to guess, they'd probably be around 180 to 220 is what if I had to guesstimate. But once I get more information, I will, send it out. But believe me, I ask every day. I guess I just don't want to give out little pieces of information until it's all been finalized. I've been having lots of different meetings. I think trying to get it completely done. But
Aubrey said you were selling these for $119.
The Aubrey price, the Aubrey discount.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, as soon as I get anything, I will let you guys know. Even information on Eastern Star Road. I know that they're going to be similar to Gibson Springs. And then same with the one in Kingsport is going to be similar to Gibson Springs. So those types of floor plans and the express features, express collection.
One more question.
No, yeah.
Do you know where the Bristol ones are gonna be located?
I actually don't even have an address for that.
Okay.
Tim Carter would have that. I
Okay.
saw the massive plan, but I don't know. And they're going to have townhomes and single family homes in that neighborhood. I think it's going to be huge on the Tennessee side. But it might be a little bit, but they are working. They're working on developing it, and they already have. The engineer has already laid it all out. They already have all of that planned out. Tim Carter's already working on developing it. But it just could be fall or winter before those are ready. But it's definitely something to keep in mind.
We have several people here that live in Bristol.
So you'll have, you'll have some good opportunities there, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that project starts in
I'm hoping it'll be, like around fall or winter of this year. But obviously that can all depend, it changes. We can't do anything until they develop the land, so it depends on what happens with all that, and city and, all the codes and everything else too. If there's a ton of rock that has to be moved, and there's all that stuff. So we're kind of at the, the mercy of the developer and how quickly they can kind of get stuff, done and taken care of. Anything else?
I know the warranty, do you have like, the 1 year is encompassing, is it 10-year foundation, 5-year systems, 3-year?
2-year, mechanical,
Okay.
yeah, and then 1-year drywall.
Oh, okay.
Which is why I like I had some nail pops, and I just did my 1 year a couple months ago, and they came in and fixed everything.
Okay.
So, and then I had some caulking that cracked my bathroom, and they fixed that, and that was all that I had.
Okay.
That was all that had to be done. So, and then something happened with my AC, which it wasn't them, it was the AC company that installed it, and they had it fixed, and it didn't go out, they just didn't install a part with it,
Uh-huh.
and so they had to order that. But that's all that I've had, issues wise. And then there's something else I was gonna tell you guys too. I don't remember. Okay, so the process too for buyers is a little bit different. We've recently gone to like a reservation process. I'm not gonna really go into detail because I think it's easier just to explain to like buyers and as things come up. But if you guys do have people who are interested, we do it kind of like a timestamp of when they're inserted into our marketing system. So say I've got 30 people who are interested in 1 level right now, and we spec and design a 1 level, and I call you and your buyer and say, hey, we just put this 1 level floor plan, this is where it is in the neighborhood, it's on this lot, this is how it's designed, this is the exterior colors, all of that, because we're spec home builders, this is how we've designed it. If your buyer's interested, then you guys come in and put in a reservation. We collect all the reservations, and whoever has been waiting the longest would obviously be in position 1. And then once we release it for sale, usually within a couple weeks, then that person in position 1 only has 24 hours to write a contract. If they do not, it goes to the second person. So there's no foul in putting in, you don't lose anything if you put in a reservation, which is why a lot of people will do it just in case. But then I've also, 2 times with these past reservations, 2 people backed off and they were in position 1, my buyers were in position 2, and now it's theirs. Because they don't lose any money, they don't lose anything by putting a reservation in. And they can do it over and over again. So if they don't get that house, the next one we build, they can put that reservation in. So that's kind of how it's working right now, especially in the Cliffs, because there's just such a high demand for that neighborhood, especially for several of the floorplans. In some of the other neighborhoods, it's not as, there might only be 1 person who puts a reservation on a home versus 4, in the Cliffs right now. So that's why if you guys have somebody, it's important that I go ahead and get them inserted into the system so they can be time-stamped earlier than waiting a couple of weeks. And then 2 people come in before them who now get a home in front of them just over a couple of weeks. So that's what it'll be. And my cards are here too. So just keep it that way. If you have somebody who's interested and you want to send them my way, then just give me a call and I can set an appointment to meet with them.
Awesome.
Sound good? Any other questions? All right.
Thank you, Aubrey.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.